So I was just going to ask you if you had some criticism of how he approached it, and if you agree with what you're hearing from
I was disappointed in the president's performance at the press conference. I'm glad he clarified his remarks. The solace I take from all of this is I look at the president's actions with respect to Russia and national security generally, and I think he's been right on target, with how he's dealt with these national security issues. So, I just think the president was dealing with conflating he has a problem conflating the Russia investigation with the legitimacy of his election. And I think while some want to conflate those two things, I think they're really distinct issues. Did Russia get involved with the election, period? Number one. Number two, did they try to, did Trump and his campaign coordinate or collude? Those are two different issues. And I think the president, and number three, did it have any impact? And I would make the argument that the Russian involvement in the election had zero impact. So, and they certainly colluded. They certainly got involved in the election. I don't think they had an impact in the election, and it's pretty clear they didn't collude with the Trump campaign in the election. And so I think the president should be able to deal with each one of those issues separately, and I think he's had trouble doing that. And I hope he can, at this point, get through that and stay focused as he should.
What do you think about what Newt Gingrich said about how?
You happy? Okay.
What did you think?
I've checked with my boss. So.
Oh, no problem. What Newt Gingrich said, it was the joint press conference with Putin was the biggest mistake of his presidency. Do you agree with that so far?
Yeah, look, I think that the president hurt himself, hurt his administration, and committed a serious error. I think the fact that he's been listening to his team and listening to his supporters and gone out and clarified his remarks and talked about how they're going to do what's ever necessary to stop Russian involvement. This leads to really the broader issue of cyber warfare. It's something I'm very, very interested in. In fact, work with a company that's in the cybersecurity area. We have a lot of work to do. Not just the government actually does a reasonably good job in dealing with cyber, but the private sector does a woeful job in dealing with it. And most of the attacks that are occurring in this country are occurring against civilian targets, not against military or government targets. And so there has to be an increased awareness and increased focus by the private sector on how we defend ourselves, not against just thugs and folks sitting in Moldova trying to make a few bucks, but against the Chinese and the North Koreans and the Russians and others who are state sponsors of this type of cyber attacks in an effort to bring down the economic system in our country.